Hi, I'm Ricardo from the Fans POV, and right now I'm sitting next to Liam, Matt, and Wooly from the Stick, and they are super best friends play. And I mean, me personally, I've been a fan of these guys for like 3 years. I think my first video that actually all of us saw was your Mortal Kombat video. That's just when it went, and it just went, oh yeah, and then we went ever since. So like, I mean, you guys been doing this for that long. I mean, how did it start? Like, was it just like a concept, or just you guys like sitting down and just doing it? So
it was a dark and stormy night, and some people just kind of threw us in the back of a van and said, "You guys need to start making videos on YouTube." No, but seriously though, it's just one of those. You know, it's an answer that a lot of people say. It just kind of organically snowballed from one thing to another. And it was just kind of me. I had a YouTube channel with almost nothing going on, just a little music video here and there with anime and stuff. And just one day I had this idea of like, how about two guys play a game designed for children like Kirby's Epic Yarn, where you're basically impossible to die, and saying, hey, how about two of us play it and get really angry for no reason, like yelling at each other, like stop making me die, dude, or whatever. And then I kind of asked around to different like members of my circle of friends, and then it just kind of went from there. And then that kind of became a thing. And then the online YouTube network, Machinima, approached us and said, "Hey, why don't you guys make that content for us?" And then that, of course, led to us like exploding on our own channel. And while we're making content for them and content for ourselves, and we got like a really passionate and fan base, and just kind of never looked back from there, sort of deal.
I was too busy watching Street Fighter streams to play the games with them.
I was kind of trying to leap over that and not have to repeat that story for the 50th time, so I was trying to save you there.
But once the stream ended, I managed to go and start playing games with them, and I met Liam, and he knew his shit, so we started playing together.
No, you met me, then you forgot who I was, then you met me again, and then that started going.
In the middle of the street at like 11 at night, walking from one of your subways, and you ran into me and like explained who you were again, and reminded me why I should know who you were, and I was like, sure, dude. And then we hung out at work after that, and it was all fine. But middle of the night was a bit weird. That's all.
After we spoke passionately about Super Street Fighter 4 that you knew about that I didn't.
Because tons of people that play Street Fighter talk passionately to me about it. You weren't the only one.
I didn't know.
There you go.
no, trust me, I know exactly how that is. Actually, our cameraman, I actually knew him before I knew who he was. Like I used to work at Walmart. I used to work at a GameStop, and like I basically used to go there. We used to talk like we used to talk about fighting games. Like we would say that was like a one thing. Like we brought up Guilty Gear. They're like, yeah, we play Guilty Gear and all that. I actually had a Japanese copy of Namco X Capcom.
Yes.
And then I told him about it. I was like, yeah, I'll let you borrow it. And then that's when I got fired. and then had another job somewhere else. And then we eventually met like through another job. And then and then we we talked a little bit like, hey, you like games? Like, yeah, I like games. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, you're that one guy. Like, yeah, you're that one guy. Oh, okay. What happened to Capcom? I sold it. So and it just went up there from there. So like
Onimusha 3, like Namco X Capcom's intro is probably the best Capcom intro they've ever done.
Oh god, yeah. That's a definite. So like, I mean, obviously you get this question asked a lot. Like, what generally makes you guys want to record something? Like, what makes you go look at a game, be like, that's what I want to record. That's what I want to take shit about, or what I want to praise to the end of time. So.
Paycheck. No, but obviously we shoot to have 2 videos go up every day, and so we're constantly on the look for games that we find cool and that we're keen on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination of, hey, what looks really awesome and what's coming up, and just what older games do we think are suitable? Because we also have a lot of games that we do enjoy. Like I like The World Ends With You, but that's not really suitable for recording an LP of. So a suitable replacement for that was Super Mario RPG, and we kind of just poke around and see what we like.
I think a lot of the games that Matt and I think about when it comes to LPs are like old weird things that no one's thought about in a while that had really good moments in them. That's a lot of you know, the titles we like to play together. But like in general, anything that's just guaranteed to be a stinker, anything David Cage is gonna put out, you know, like you gotta get your hands on it, and you know in advance, like, oh yeah, that's gonna be gold. You know, you just know this guy or this company is known for putting out terrible, terrible garbage. Silver dollar games, whatever, you know.
I'd say something we always try to look for is what can be very gifable. What can our fans like take a part away from and just make an animated GIF of it? Either it being us doing something goofy live action, or a bug, or a glitch, or anything that can add text. Anything that can bolster the creative community of making fun of how bad we are at video games. That always seems to be a major tenet of how we pick them. So.
And due to our shameless ripping off of Maximilian, we are now doing weeks and themed weeks of stuff. So that's another way to just kind of like work in angles that we have. We have a bunch of games, we don't know how to work it together, you know. Just do a week. Max started it, we ripped it off. It's great.
Like, what excuse do we have to do 7 boxing games? Whatever, it's boxing week.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I want to go play a game where you punch dudes. So like, I mean, given that like the reception you guys have gotten, like, you know, obviously like your panel not too long ago, it was nearly packed. Like, obviously you guys didn't really expect it, right? Like, I'm assuming like you didn't get to be that kind of fame. Like what was your original idea as far as just like what kind of reception you wanted out of it?
The first MAGFest we came to, we expected like 8 people. They gave us the room around the corner over there, and we kind of just went, yeah, all right, we'll go talk about what we've done for LPs, and got there and saw this line bending around the corner and just had a surreal moment of like, this many people want to, oh my god. And then doing the signing as well right after that was just like, we saw the line extending to the door, and yeah, surreal is the right word for it, I think. Because it's one thing to sort of throw up a video, schedule it, and then see the number of people go up. You know, you look below the YouTube video, you see, oh yeah, a couple thousand people are watching this, sure. But you don't really internalize it until you see them in person and meet them and shake hundreds and hundreds of hands and stuff. So, yeah, just absolutely surreal and beyond expectations every time.
Basically.
No, I agree. That's pretty much it, yeah.
And like, one thing that I've actually did before even coming to MAGFest, actually ask a bunch of people who don't generally watch LPs, just sit down and actually just watch one of your guys' episodes. And like the one like series that always kind of like gets them is Friday Night Fisticuffs, just because of the intro. Like, you know, like it feels exactly very close, kind of like that very personal kind of feeling. It's like, you know, it's just a bunch of guys sitting down like one night just like going nuts. Like, was that something you guys were planning to do for like at the beginning, or?
Speaking on fisticuffs, when the idea came up, Wooly was very, very keen on making it that kind of atmosphere, and like when we saw the raw footage and stuff, we were like, yeah, you're onto something. And like, I'm really happy with the reception of fisticuffs, and I think Wooly did an amazing job with that. But I'd say that's definitely an angle for us, is the idea that like we're a bit personable, and like there's a lot of stuff that we don't do. You know, we don't end our videos with the like, comment, subscribe, and you know, we just try to be people. We try to be nice, sometimes often crude people, but not, you know, we don't try to be a product. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love you guys.
That being said, you should probably like and subscribe our channel if you don't.
Yeah, it really helps us out.
No, but like building off that in general, some comment we always get is that it feels like I'm there playing with you guys. Our fans will often say, like, it feels like I'm one of you and I'm just like a fly on the wall or something, or I'm like one of your friends, and I like that feeling. Like, it reminds me of when I used to play with my brother or my sister or my dad or whatever. So that's like the common thing that I think a lot of people seem to like about us in general, how yeah, we don't really treat it like a product most of the time, or really try to avoid it. And I think that's like one of the big reasons for our general success in a sort of underground way, where a lot of people still don't know about us, but the people that do, like, never stop singing our praises. So yeah. I've ended every statement with "so yeah." So
No, that's true. I mean, the people that do like us tend to watch a lot of the videos, and what do you want? I don't know what you want to call the word for that. You know, yeah, dedicated fans that just really want to watch each thing instead of like cherry picking. Fisticuffs, thank you for the kind words, Liam. It'd be nice if you said them off camera. No, but the thing with Fisticuffs in particular was I really wanted to recapture the way Matt, Pat, and I all met. You know, we used to play fighting games in empty classrooms in college. During class, after class, before class, whatever, someone would bring a setup and we'd just do it for a while. And and then we would do that at each other's houses as well. And it was just something that we hadn't done in a while. And I just felt like, let's start playing fighting games again, and let's make it get that feeling that we had back when we first met. You know, a night of fighters, just showing off stupid things. Hey, look at the awesome intro for Soul Calibur 2. Do you guys remember that? No? Oh my god, look at this, you know? And games that no one ever like knew, like you bring out Spectral versus Generation, and then like try to run like first to tens on it, and like, you know, just all that crazy stuff was just stuff that we did. And the fact that we now have like an excuse to weekly play something dumb or great and get out all the lore that, you know, the jokes we've been making with each other for years, it's just fun, man.
We're basically just giant children. I mean, look at Matt's onesie.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm still kind of anticipating for like the Killer Instinct one, so I can just hear like your constant, like your knowledge of like the entire lore of Killer Instinct. I've been wanting this day one.
As soon as season 2 is done.
Yeah, I mean, so with that being said, like, was there any particular LP that like just stands out as far as like one day you generally enjoy just like doing? Not so as far as like, you know, like how it was received, but just generally like you really had a good time with.
I had a really fun time doing Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, because Pat and I knew very, very little about the game, and it just constantly took us off guard. And like on a technical level, on a design level, on a writing level, it's just constantly surprising, super fun. And I also really enjoyed doing Castlevania and Streets of Rage, which were just like, they were good playthroughs. Bit of a botch in Castlevania, but like they were good, and I'm really pleased with the results. So yeah.
I think me and Wooly kind of agreed that any LP that has lore in it, that you make new lore about it, whether it be like a dumb kind of made-up character like the Scorpion Death God from Predator Conquer Jungle, or the thrilling narrative of Rage that got brought up in Def Jam Fight for New York, that wouldn't. That's how you kind of gauge success, not by views per se, because those two examples I got, yeah, view-wise it's fine, but it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's something you can bring up again, and then you'll get lots of fan art around it, and it becomes more of a thing, and people remember it more. Like even if the views weren't skyrocketing like ginormous numbers, it's still something that people will bring up, and someone might say, "Oh, I really like Silent Hill because of this reason," and that's pretty much it. But like someone will really remember Rage or really remember Scorpion Death God, and people get a real kick out of like those types of moments. So I think that's a really, like, as Wooly said, a really good gauge of how successful an LP can be.
Personally, I really enjoyed playing Alien Soldier. It was short and sweet, and it's just a game that's a blast to play. So that goes up as one of my favorites. And just in terms of like just being different and interesting, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a game that is just different from everything else we've done on the channel, and it was just a lot of fun to get into something old and cerebral and just written by a crotchety old man. And it was just, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And of course, Beyond Two Souls was just the perfect piece of shit. I couldn't have asked for anything better. Like, every time we grabbed the controller, there were flies just buzzing around. It was like amazingly garbage. Yeah, we went in like expecting like garbage, and we got the most perfect like swirl that had a little tip, you know, like it was great. It was great.
All right, so I mean, that being your best, I mean, I gotta ask, which is the worst? The one that you literally just wanted to be like, we're done with it. Get out of here. Throw it into the garbage and just get rid of it.
All right, go for it, guys. Go for it. Just you can lean into the mic and say it together.
I know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say something different.
Okay.
Surprise me.
Just as a huge fan, I was really done with playing The Evil Within, just because it was a disappointing title, and not because it was like a train wreck or anything. I would probably say if it was a train wreck, then I would be like, oh, well, it was a train wreck, and everyone had pointing and laughing at it. But to me, it was just like a disappointing game, and I wanted to love it so much. And that's one of those things where it's like, ultimately, there was no lore. No lore came out of it, and it was just kind of like, oh, and there's going to be tons of DLC that can hopefully make up for like the kind of disappointing ending, and you just feel bad about having to do that later. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully they learn some lessons doing those DLCs. But and also as a Let's Play perspective, that game gets better and better when you replay it, when your character is leveled up sufficiently, and it's more fun to play it that way. But that makes for a shitty LP because the first time through, it doesn't hit its stride. And that's like one of those things where like I was a huge fan of Shinji Mikami, or still am, but for his Resident Evil remake and Vanquish, and going through that again and one of his games, and you're just kind of let down. Unfortunately, it's like one of those things that I'll probably not remember that we did it in a year. So that's mine personally.
For me, it was Nuzlocke, and it's a heartbreaker because I really wanted to do Nuzlocke like a lot. And like I'm not like down on you, Wooly, or anything, but like Nuzlocke was like not going well, and like I think I had vastly overestimated how much I remembered about the old Pokemon games. That at some point, because I went on for quite a few episodes, it just started dragging, and it wasn't super fun to sit down and record. But I'm happy with the end results where we did the stream, and like it sounds shitty to say it, but I feel like we kind of saved it at the end and made it at least something instead of just like puttering out into nothing. So
yeah, Dark Souls. Oh my god, no. Dark Souls is great. I loved it. No, yeah, Nuzlocke was something that it hurt because it, like, I personally had a lot of things in advance I thought would be great. I thought the idea of like a high tension, high stakes Nuzlocke set of rules would be fun. Plus the fact that like I haven't touched it since the first time I played it, but you know, I kind of wanted it to be like this could end at any moment, you know, and I thought that rule set would make it really exciting to go into. But you know, as it kind of went on, I kind of, like you said, you overestimate how much you remember, you underestimate how much the fan base really cares about the specific details of Pokemon. And yeah, at a certain point I was kind of just like afraid of doing things, and it was just causing me personal grief. You know, like while we were not playing, I was getting stressed out thinking about it and just feeling bad for the results, and it was a lot of bad things were happening while it was going on. So you know, like Liam said, I think the end result left a lasting impression with people as far as like a really hype moment in the channel's history goes, and I'm glad we managed to get that going. But unfortunately, the middle portion of the Nuzlocke was pretty clearly a low for our LPs, and you know, there's no way to beat around the bush when it comes to it. Like, you could hear it, the comments were reflecting it, and we learned a lot from doing that as far as other approaches to LPs go, and you know, I don't think we're gonna do anything like that or that can fall into the same traps again.
All right, so one last question. Like, seeing where you guys are at now, just as a whole, like for the future, is there something that you kind of wish to happen or want to happen as far as like your channel or just anything in general that you wish would kind of come to fruition?
1 million subs, please. Like, comment, subscribe. No. I would love for things to continue the way they're going. And I would love for, you know, us to just kind of, yeah, continue putting good videos out that people enjoy and like create a lot of lore and just, you know, have a fun and time interacting with. And I would love to see best friend stuff sort of hitting other mediums if possible in different ways. You know, I think we've managed to meet so many cool people through doing these videos over the years that like have been so talented in ways, well, like more talented than us, artists and animators, game programmers, all kinds of amazing people. And I'd love to see like projects where we can work together come out and like make the fans get more excited for more Best Friends stuff. You know, that'd be fun.
I kind of feel the same about how Wooly feels, that like it's really great when you can branch out to some other creative areas and work with other cool people on a like kind of a personal channel level. For us though, so when we do theme weeks or even months, it'd be always great if we could like do those in a more like concise way, where we always try, but you want to do as many of those in advance as possible, and not doing them down to the wire where, oh god, we're still missing a week left of videos and we have to do those still. And every time we try to do them a bit better and a bit better. And my ultimate goal is, because since those are very popular, like, and if you play them in such a certain way where, oh, we gotta do another one, we gotta do another one, then that also gets into that funk of like, and you're a little less enthusiastic. But those months are really great and people really enjoy them. So I hope in the future that we can sort of get those done in a more timely manner, that's more time efficient and we're more fresh for each one, and it's more enjoyable for all our viewers.
Yeah, we're on like a statistically very, very slow but very, very steady climb. And like, you know, it's not the ballsy or fun thing that you want to hear, but I'm really happy with that. As much as like I think all of us would love a huge spike upwards, it's, you know, if it has to be followed by a spike downwards, that's not something I think any of us want. I think like my thoughts on it have always been like, let's just not fuck up. Let's just keep doing what we think is fun and what we think is enjoyable that people will like, and just not fuck up. And as long as we can do that, I think we can keep it going for a while. And as long as it's not just flaccid and boring, I think I'd like to keep doing this for quite a while, because it's amazing. Honestly, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So, you know, yeah.
So basically, it sounds like you guys want to keep doing what you're doing up until you get to that level of like Conan, like brawlic status, where you just crush your enemies, see them dreaming before you, and hear the lamentations of the women.
Oh, I thought you were going for Clueless Gamer, but yeah, no, we'll take the blood god. We'll do that.
All right. Otherwise, like, thank you guys. Seriously, like, I mean, like I said, like, we're big fans, and like, you know, like, we can pretty much say for like the bottom of our hearts, like, we enjoy what you do.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So that being said, we'll like I said, definitely keep an eye on these guys, because these guys are just going to be going, you know, reaching that pinnacle of just mayhem.
Let's get some Potemkin matches.
Word!
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Later,
Yeah, Guilty Gear needs to happen, which is probably going to happen right after this. And with that being said, I'm Ricardo, and this is Benefit the Fans POV, and we'll see you guys next time.